Alright, so as usual, nothing prepared beforehand, but I've got my the other half of the prawns, and I was thinking what to do with them, and I could do another stir fry, but then I thought, I was thinking about the you know, the prawns that you get up at Wagamama's. I quite like them, the panko breadcrumb deep fried prawns, and I was wondering if I could do that. And then I'm thinking what to have that with, and I thought what I'll do is make up a sweet chili sauce and have it with some noodles. So noodles, sweet chili sauce and deep fried prawns. So I will, quite a lot of work in this, so we shall crack on. So I'll stick these noodles on, and then we shall do a sweet chili sauce. And use some oil for deep frying. So sweet chili sauce, fairly sugar. This is a fairly kind of quick way to do it. I'm going to make my own. So start with some ketchup. That's the kind of the base. And some tomatoes in it, why not? You can kind of do whatever you want with it. We shall put some, a bit of cider vinegar, or any kind of white vinegar. Cut that through a wee bit, that may be too much. And some sugar. To break up those lumps that are in it. So sugar, vinegar, ketchup. Just kind of rough quantities. I don't know how much there is of that. I think that feels a wee bit sweet, but and then just adjust it. So just sugar, vinegar, ketchup, and then just kind of adjust that. That tastes quite nice. So we shall go with that. And then we want the chilies. Let's do a red and a green as a starting point. And you can put the seeds through it if you want. If you want it nice and hot. I think I might actually do that. I think I might just do the lot. Because it is a chili sauce after all. you chop the chilies like that, just be very careful with touching your eye or any sensitive parts of your body, because they will. You'll feel it. So there you go, it's starting to come together now. Chop up tomatoes. Doesn't taste very hot at all actually, they're very mild chilies. And you can obviously put whatever you want into this. Just kind of obviously going with what I've got. I didn't specifically go out and buy these particular ingredients in order to make it. I'm just making it with what I happen to have. I think we shall. I'm going to use. It's a wee bit awkward. It's a wee bit awkward because I'm not sure. I want to deep fry them, but I don't want to get do a whole deep frying thing going on. But then if you just fry it in very shallow oil, they tend to dry out a bit. So I'm going to do an in between. Not deep, not shallow, but medium. We'll stick get a wee bit of heat going in that pan. This is not far off. And then just herbs. Again, I'm just using these because I've got them. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another kind of good point with these videos that I'm doing. It's not really about this is how you do a sweet chili sauce with dill in it. That doesn't really make any sense. I just happen to have this dill here, so let's just use it. And just when you've got some tomatoes in there, why not a wee bit of basil? Why not? It's all good for you. It's all, you know, it's all gonna add. It's a bit weird, but why not? So with the sugar and the vinegar in that'll keep for a long time, but probably going to use most of it. Could be done with a bit more kind of ketchup and liquid and stuff, but that's okay. So there you go, it's a sort of salsa cum sweet chili sauce. But we'll put that onto the noodles. I actually have some coriander here as well. I've got to use that up. So let's just bung that in as well. You can see these herbs are lasting quite a few days when you put them in a bag like that. I mean, they're lasting really well. Put them in the bag like that and squeeze the air out of them and store them nice and tightly like that in the fridge, and they'll last quite a few days. Clean down. Those noodles are done. I like these noodles, they just don't take long at all. There's the, I threw the packet away, but the Sharwood's thin noodles. So I was thinking about another use for the mully, and we've got some of these wee mange twos. Oh, I meant to put these. I forgot to put these sweet corns into the water, so we won't use those. We'll use those for something else. What I'll do is bring those noodles to the boil, and that's them done. I'm not really worried about them. They don't tend to sort of overcook. I'm not really worried about them cooling down too much. So you could eat this cold. It's quite dry. And I'm thinking about having some of this mully just raw, so why not? Shred up that mange too, put that in, and then just go nice and thin. Take a few. I was going to just take a few now. I tell you what, I never use my mandolin. I have a mandolin. Never use it. This is exactly what it's for. Take a few shreds of that. Makes life a bit easier. Just bung that in raw. Why not? A very dense sweet chilli sauce. I could add a bit more ketchup, but then that will change the flavour, because then you'd have to add more vinegar and a bit more sugar as well. So I won't. I'll just go with it as it is. It's a bit thick, but a bit too much stuff through it, a bit too much herbs. But you know, that's okay. That around it. So all I've done there is boiled up those noodles, nothing else is cooked. So you know, nutritionally you can't go wrong there. I'll just get it all coated. So when you're doing your sauce like that, you kind of want to over flavour it, because when you're putting it onto this now, the noodles are going to soak everything up. So it will dilute the flavour down a wee bit. So this on its own is perfectly good. So I should call that done, and we'll just leave that to one side. Prawns. Okay. So for the prawns, what I would normally do is, or what you would normally do, what one would normally do is flour, breadcrumbs, flour, egg and breadcrumbs. Let's just take these wee bread rolls. But I haven't got any eggs. That's it. I haven't got any eggs, so we'll have to do it a slightly different way. Just a wee bit of bread, you don't need to bother cleaning it. As long as there's no bits of bread on it, it should be fine. Okay, so breadcrumbs. Now when it comes to the what you're going to use to stick it, I haven't got any eggs, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some flour and water just to stick it. A touch of plain flour. Actually, what am I doing? I need to get the oil heating up, don't I? I forgot about that. So let us get some oil going. Just using rapeseed oil. This big container here. So I'm going to put a fair amount into that pan. So it's kind of like it's a bit more than shallow frying, but it's not quite deep frying. In my pan there. It's kind of in between. If you go too shallow, you don't put in enough oil, and you fry these breadcrumbs, they go dry, they're no good. And if you go too deep, then it's just basically deep frying, and that's a different thing then. And you've got to kind of, like whenever I deep fry, I usually have a plan, you know, I usually use the oil a few times. So I'll buy some fish, and then I'll have some chicken, and then maybe another bit of chicken or something, and then make up some pakora, you know, the curried batter, and then throw the oil away. So you do use the oil 3-4 times. So I'm just not in the mood to do that at the moment. So just make up a wee batter of flour and water. Just like that. So sprinkle a wee bit of flour onto the prawns. Just helps the batter to stick to them. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever made this before. I don't think I've ever breadcrumbed prawns before in this house. I don't know. Don't think I have. I tend to not season them at this point. I quite like them quite well seasoned at the end, so and I don't know what panko breadcrumbs are. I assume some kind of like a posh Rusculin type stuff, so again, I don't have that. I'm just going to use a wee bit of normal bread. You kind of want to make sure you've got lots of breadcrumbs. Just kind of, you know, throw the anything remainder into the bin. Just don't worry about it. Just consider it as using up one bread roll for this meal. very hot very quickly. Fans on. Just turn that down to medium. And just be fairly careful with these, don't want to knock too much of the breadcrumbs off them, just get them nicely coated. That's why you're better off having lots of breadcrumbs. Seems like a wee bit of a waste, but it's just one bread roll because I've got no other prawns, so that's got prawnness through it, so we can't really keep it. That looks good, so turn that down to medium. They smell amazing already. Ready with some kitchen paper. That. It just doesn't get much better than that. Turn that down a wee bit more. And they won't take very long at all to cook through. Turn that off now. Well, the idea was to dip them in this remaining sauce. Why I use the rubber things, they're much quieter as well. That's flipping annoying. I shall call them done. So what I will do with that, honestly I would probably just strain that oil through a wee tea strainer, and I would probably just reuse it. Actually, I might just use it for some frying. kitchen pepper on top. So turn them over so they get done on both sides. Nice. Just feel how crispy they are. Very good. So I haven't seasoned these at all. Let me take a bite of one and let you hear how crunchy they are. Cool. So that's you there. So that's you some deep fried breaded prawns, sweet chili, homemade sweet chili sauce and noodles. I'll see if I can get you to hear this crunch. So good. It's really, really good. Pinch of salt on them. I had this rock salt that had been in my cupboard for about 100 years, and so I put it through the my pepper grinder, my pepper mill grinder thing, just because it was sitting to create granulated salt, which worked fine. It's nice and powdery, but it's sort of clumped together. A bit annoying, but anyway. And you could dip them into that bit of extra sweet chili sauce, dip that into those as well and you're done. So sweet chili noodles, uncooked vegetables and things in it, and your deep fried prawns, deep fried breaded prawns that are so crunchy. It's really good.